Hi there. If you're watching this on YouTube, or you're wanting to watch any of my content on my channel, or both for that matter, I would strongly recommend hitting the subscribe button and comment and like on any videos if you may wish, because this is a general audience channel. Also, this video is not made for kids, it is for older fans and adults alike. So please sit back and enjoy the video. The Origin of Rusty, written and told by Julyleonard. Recently, Skarloey had broken a mainspring and had gone to the mainland to be mended, so Sir Handel and Peter Sam had to manage his work as well as their own. Sir Handel Brown II, the owner, even gave them buffers to allow rolling stock to bounce on and off of their front and back ends to avoid denting or damaging them. One day, the two engines were at the sheds when they heard an oily purring noise, which turned out to be Diesel, who was rolling right past by them. "Where is it going this time?" asked Sir Handel.
"I don't have a clue," said Peter Sam. "But whatever it was, it seemed to be rather upset."
"Maybe we should ask the engines of the big railway about it," suggested Sir Handel, and Peter Sam agreed. When Peter Sam arrived at the big station, he asked Henry what it was. "That was a diesel engine," came the reply. "A boxy thing that runs on wheels and burns on fuel and oil instead of coal or water." And Henry told him about what Diesel done ever since he arrived. "Better keep a watch out for any newcomers to your railway when it comes to diesels. They could be troublesome at times." And with that, Henry left the work station. Later that day, Peter Sam met up with Sir Handel and told him what Henry had said, much to Sir Handel's surprise, but furious at the same time. "The nerve of him!" he fumed. "All cheesed off and had to tell lies just because he took the wrong sort of trucks."
"I know, Sir Handel," said Peter Sam shortly. "But if we ever get a diesel engine, I hope it won't be as bad as the one we saw pass by."
At that moment, the guard blew his whistle, and Peter Sam steamed off with his train. Ever since Skarloey and Rheneas were sent away to the mainland to be mended, the two remaining engines in service were Sir Handel and Peter Sam. Over the years, the Skarloey Railway was in need of some pretty dire repairs, and there wasn't any time for any repairs. Mr. Peter Sam, the thin controller, had decided that a diesel would help with maintenance, so the owner had purchased a diesel of their own. One day, the thin controller came to see the two engines. "Sir Handel, Peter Sam," he announced, "this is Rusty, our own diesel. He will be helping with maintenance on our railway." Peter Sam greeted him, but Sir Handel was unsure. "It's all right, Sir Handel," smiled Rusty. "I'm nothing like those diesels that are a bad sort." And that made Sir Handel warm up to him. Just then, Mr. Ivo Hugh, Rusty's driver, spoke up. "Rusty, Skarloey's coming home. Let's mend the track so well that he won't know where he is." And so they set off to collect a maintenance train. Every day on the Skarloey Railway, where the little engines work, the crisp air is suddenly filled with the familiar noises. The lakes and the mountains have many visitors, and Harold the helicopter flies the skies, making sure that no one is in trouble.
"All present and correct," he stated. "Time to return to base."
Then Harold noticed something. A sturdy orange diesel was coming round a corner. Harold flew lower for a closer inspection.
"I'm Harold,"
Who are you?" "I'm Rusty," replied the Diesel. "Don't recall seeing you before. What brings you this way?" "The thing controlling the owner sent me to help the other engines," huffed Rusty. This was no time for a chat with a helicopter.
"Well done. Cheers, and keep up the good work," called Harold, and flew away.
"Cheeky chopper," muttered Rusty.
"Never mind," encouraged Mr. Hugh. "We'll soon have the track mended before we know it."
But later that evening, however, Rusty rolled into the shed still wrapped up about Harold.
"What's wrong, Rusty?"
asked Peter Sam, puzzled.
"It's that cheeky chopper named Harold," came the reply,
and Rusty told Peter Sam about him.
"He's just a helicopter who's on the lookout," remarked Sir Handel. "And besides, you'll understand that he's friendly once you get to know him," Peter Sam finished, and went to sleep.
But as time went by, however, Rusty would often see Harold fly by, but although he said hello, Rusty wouldn't answer, even if he didn't have time to chat with him. That was until one day, as the year had passed. Rusty was working nearby at the slate quarry when he heard a crash and a splash, followed by a distant familiar voice saying,
"Ouch! I didn't expect a cold bath,"
and a whistle. "We better see what the noise was," said Mr. Hugh. When they arrived, Rusty was in a state of shock of what he had saw. There was Peter Sam, soaked from funnel to cab, with a wreckage of some slates and demolished trucks. "Bust my buffers!" he exclaimed. "What a mess!" "Never mind, Peter Sam. We'll get you out." He soon pulled him from the water and the trucks. Peter Sam felt battered. His funnel was cracked and his boiler dented, but he was glad his driver and fireman were unhurt.
"Thank you, Rusty,"
he sighed, and limped slowly home. Rusty stayed to help clear the wreckage, and when it was cleared away, Rusty set off along the line.
"Splendid to see you again," whizzed Harold. "I'm completing my evening's lookabout."
"Well done," replied Rusty. "Cheers, and keep up the good work," and the little Diesel purred back home. While Sir Handel had to do Peter Sam's work as well as his own, the owner bought an engine from a factory named Duncan, who was bouncy and rude, with strong language, and liked to do rock and roll. Skarloey had been to the works to be mended. He felt much better. Rusty the Diesel was helping him off his truck. Skarloey hadn't met the little Diesel before. "Rusty seems a kindly sort of engine," he thought to himself. "I help to mend the line and do odd jobs," explained Rusty. "I hear everyone is looking forward to seeing you again. Come on." But the rest, they say, is history.